And Sovereign David was old, advanced in years, and they covered him with garments, but he could not get warm. So his servant said to him, Let them seek for our master the sovereign a young woman, a maiden, and she shall stand before the sovereign, and be his companion, and shall lie in your bosom, so that our master the sovereign gets warm. And they sought for a lovely young woman in all the borders of Israel, and found Abishag the Shumanite, and brought her to the sovereign. And the young woman was very lovely, and she was a companion for the sovereign, and served him. But the sovereign did not know her. And Adoniah son of Haggith exalted himself, saying, I reign. And he prepared for himself a chariot and horsemen, and 50 men to run before him. Now his father had not worried him at any time by saying, Why have you done so? He was also very good looking, and he was born after Absalom. And he talked with Joab son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar the Cohen, and they supported Adoniah. But Zadok the Cohen, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada, and Nathan the Nabai, and Shammai, and Rai, and the mighty men who belonged to David were not with Adoniah. And Adoniah offered sheep and cattle and fatlings by the stone of Zoheleth, which is by En Rogel. He also invited all his brothers, the sovereign's sons, and all the men of Yehudah, servants of the sovereign. But he did not invite Nathan the Nabai, or Benaiah, or the mighty men, or Shelemah his brother. Nathan then spoke to Bathsheba, the mother of Shelemah, saying, Have you not heard that Adoniah son of Haggith has become sovereign, and David our master does not know it? And now, come, let me give you advice, and deliver your own life and the life of your son Shelemah. Go immediately to sovereign David, and say to him, Do you not, my master, O sovereign, swear to your female servant, saying, Certainly your son Shelemah shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne. Why then has Adoniah become sovereign? Look, while you are still speaking there with the sovereign, let me come in after you and confirm your words. And Bathsheba went into the room to the sovereign. Now the sovereign was very old, and Abishag the Shumanite was serving the sovereign. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance to the sovereign. And the sovereign said, What do you want? And she said to him, My master, you swore by Yahweh your Elohim to your female servant, saying, Certainly Shelemah your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne. And now look, Adoniah has become sovereign, and now my master the sovereign, you do not know about it. And he was offered great numbers of bulls and fatlings and sheep, and has invited all the sons of the sovereign, and Abiathar the Cohen, and Joab the commander of the army. But he did not invite Shelemah your servant. And you, my master, O sovereign, the eyes of all Israel are on you, to declare to them who is going to sit on the throne of my master the sovereign after him. Otherwise it shall be, when my master the sovereign rests with his fathers, that I and my son Shelemah shall be considered sinners. And see, while she was still speaking with the sovereign, Nathan the Nabai also came in. So they informed the sovereign, saying, Here is Nathan the Nabai. And when he came in before the sovereign, he bowed down before the sovereign with his face to the ground. And Nathan said, My master, O sovereign, have you said Adoniah shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne? For he has gone down today and offered great numbers of bulls and fatlings and sheep, and has invited all the sovereign's sons and the commanders of the army, and Abiathar the Cohen. And look, they are eating and drinking before him. And they say, Let sovereign Adoniah live. But he has not invited me your servant, nor Zadok the Cohen, nor Benaiah son of Jehoiada, nor your servant Shelemah. If this matter is from my master the sovereign, then you did not let your servant know who should sit on the throne of my master the sovereign after him. And sovereign David answered and said, Call Bathsheba to me. So she came into the sovereign's presence, and stood before the sovereign. And the sovereign took an oath and said, As Yahweh lives, who redeemed my life out of all distress, even as I swore to you by Yahweh Elohim of Israel, saying, Certainly Shelemah your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne in my place. Even so I do this day. And Bathsheba bowed with her face to the earth, and did obeisance to the sovereign, and said, Let my master Sovereign Dawid live forever. And Sovereign Dawid said, Call me Zadok the Cohen, and Nathan the Nabai, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada. And they came before the sovereign. And the sovereign said to them, Take with you the servants of your master, and you shall have Shelemah my son ride on my mule, and take him down to Gahan. And there Zadok the Cohen and Nathan the Nabai shall anoint the sovereign over Yisrael, and blow the horn, and say, Let sovereign Shelemah live. And you shall come up after him, and he shall come and sit on my throne, and he shall reign in my place. For I have appointed him to be ruler over Yisrael and over Yehudah. And Benaiah son of Jehoiada answered the sovereign, and said, Amen. So says Yahweh Elohim of my master the sovereign. As Yahweh has been with my master the sovereign, so let him be with Shelemah, and make his throne greater than the throne of my master Sovereign Dawid. Then Zadok the Cohen, and Nathan the Nabai, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada, and the Kerethites and the Pelethites went down and had Shelemah ride on Sovereign Dawid's mule, and took him to Gahan. And Zadok the Cohen took a horn of oil from the tent, and anointed Shelemah, and they blew the horn, and all the people said, Let sovereign Shelemah live. And all the people came up after him, and the people played the flutes and rejoiced with great joy, so that the earth was split by their noise. And Adoniah and all the guests who were with him heard it as they had finished eating. And Joab heard the sound of the horn, and said, Why is the city in such a noisy uproar? And he was still speaking. Then see, Jonathan came, son of Abiathar the Cohen. And Adoniah said to him, Come in, for you are a brave man, and you bring good news. But Jonathan answered and said to Adoniah, No, our master Sovereign Dawid has made Shelemah sovereign, and the sovereign has sent with him Zadok the Cohen, and Nathan the Nabai, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada, and the Kerethites and the Pelethites. And they had him ride on the sovereign's mule. And Zadok the Cohen and Nathan the Nabai had anointed him sovereign at Gahan, and they have gone up from there rejoicing. And the city is moved. This is the noise you heard. And further, Shelemah sits on the throne of the reign. And further, the servants of the sovereign have gone to Barak our master Sovereign Dawid, saying, Let your Elohim make the name of Shelemah better than your name, and his throne greater than your throne. And the sovereign bowed himself on the bed. And the sovereign said also thus, Baruch be Yahweh Elohim of Yisrael, who has given to sit on my throne this day, while my eyes see it. And all the guests who were invited by Adoniah were afraid and rose, and each one went his way. And Adoniah was afraid of Shelemah, and rose, and went and took hold of the horns of the altar. And it was reported to Shelemah, saying, Look, Adoniah is afraid of sovereign Shelemah. And look, he has taken hold of the horns of the altar, saying, Let sovereign Shelemah swear to me today that he does not put his servant to death with the sword. And Shelemah said, If he proves himself a worthy man, not one hair of him is going to fall to the earth. But if evil is found in him, then he shall die. And sovereign Shelemah sent, and they brought him down from the altar. And he came and fell down before sovereign Shelemah. And Shelemah said to him, Go to your house.